Hey guys, welcome to my first Minecraft video. Today we're playing Hardcore Minecraft. I don't really need to say that, seeing as it's already in the title, but in case you can't read, now you know. Starting out, I wasn't sure if this was a good location, but I quickly, very quickly, found this lava pit over here, so decided this is where I'd get to work. I built a wooden pickaxe so that I could get stone tools, and then got to work chopping down trees, killing animals, planting a garden. The rest of day one was just spent making a little base and then getting more seeds for a bigger garden. So yeah, we started out with 10 seeds planted and then this base inside this little dirt mound right here. It's really nice because the lava gives like natural light, I guess, without me having to find torches. I also put this block up here so that no hostile mobs could get in. That night while I was mining down, I heard a bat in my right headphone, which is the first time I've ever had that happen where my headphones helped me actually do something. And yeah, I stumbled upon this cave, found 3 pieces of iron. It's not a lot, but it would be helpful in the next day. And then I also found glowberries, which I wasn't expecting to use these, but after I came across these, I decided to use them in my build. Day 2 started out a little bit violent, but that's what happens if you want to make a bed. You gotta kill a few sheep. And then the rest of the day, and I guess not the rest of the day, but a lot of this day was just spent trying to get these chickens back towards my base. I didn't even go very far to find them, but they're just so slow, especially crossing that stupid river. But once they were back, I fed them some seeds. I got the advancement or achievement, whatever you call it for it. And then I also melted the iron that I had got the previous night. And so I got the acquiring hardware, whatever the achievement is. I then used that iron not for armor but for a bucket, because if I come down this cave you'll see I can now have a pet axolotl. So yep, the cutest predator reward before I even get any armor. Not much to say about day 3. I chopped wood, chopped some more wood, and then I chopped a little more wood and I made a bed. So yep, that was pretty much all that happened on day 3. Day 4 had some really boring gameplay where I ran around this field for like 4 minutes because I was trying to decide where to build my base, because depending on where I put the front door would decide how much dirt I'd have to take away / add later into building this base. But eventually I just got to work. I finished the main foundation and then I decided to start lighting up the world. After I lit up the world a little bit, I went back to start working on the base, but it didn't go very well because the skeleton started shooting. I barely blocked his shot there. And then I figured I could just trap myself in here before any mobs got in here. Once again, I barely blocked his shot, or he missed. I don't really know. But they were just getting in, and with no armor, I decided it was better safe than sorry. So I just ran back to my bed and went back to sleep so that they would all burn up in the morning. Day 5 started out with me killing my first monster, which happened to be a creeper. And then the rest of the day was just me building my fort. If you can guess what this is before I finish it, that's pretty amazing. If you could even guess what this is once it's done, I'd be surprised. But right here, I couldn't figure out how I wanted to do the roof. Eventually I figured out, and so I went up and fixed it. And then I started getting back to work, but shortly after I fell off the roof, and by fell I mean jumped, and then I got shot by a skeleton right after, and I was hungry, didn't have good food, I was getting low on hearts, so once again I just went to bed. Of course there were monsters nearby though, so I had to move my bed. Long story short though, I made it. It was another successful day of building. Day 6 I more or less finished the fort, base, whatever you want to call it. I also put in a back door which would be super good looking later, lit it up. Just basic stuff, making it look pretty good. So here's what it looks like now that's all done. I modeled it after the curio shop from Cars, Disney's Cars. So it looks pretty close to that. Obviously not exact. The one in the movie is made out of bricks, but I like how it turned out, so looking pretty good. And then after I got done with the first floor, I went down below to start down here. And me being big-brained, I used a stone axe to dig all of this dirt. Obviously not all of the dirt, but oh my goodness, it was so long before I realized how slow this was taking. Eventually I figured it out, and then things sped up from there. This took quite a little while. This is pretty boring gameplay to watch, so I'll just skip to the part where it's all finished. But there you go. This is going to be the underground chicken coop, with nothing sus about this place Oh. Okay, that's kind of weird, but anyways, day 7 was spent moving my chickens into their new house, which took way too long. It probably only took like 3 minutes, but it felt like forever. We eventually got them down there, and they seemed happy. At least as happy as 2 black squares and a yellow rectangle can look, I guess. I then proceeded to turn my little bunker, whatever you want to call it, into a better looking cave. I'm not saying this looks good, but I mean, it looks better. It's better than it was before. It gives it some style, I don't know. I also built a chest. This was super good. It just made me feel so much more organized. I realized this chest is very not organized, but it made my inventory feel organized. And so it was just a really good moment in the server. I then proceeded to go mining. While mining that night, I heard this weird noise, and I wasn't sure what that noise was. I tried turning on closed captioning / subtitles, whatever you want to call it, but I never heard it again, and it never came up. So if you guys know what that is, comment it down below, because I still have no idea what it was. The next morning, I started putting all of the cobblestone I had gathered into furnaces to turn it into stone, so that I could turn that into stone bricks. I would need a lot of stone bricks for my upcoming project, which was pretty much just my first project, but with stone. I also had to do a little bit of terraforming. At least I think that's the word, where you like place dirt / delete dirt. But yeah, I started on this project. This would take like the next 2.5 days. So yeah, there's just a lot of chopping wood, and then taking that wood to be melted, or not melted, but I used the wood to be burned in the furnaces so that I could get more cobblestone and to put in the furnace. This isn't making any sense. If you just watch the video, you can clearly see what's happening. I'm gathering cobblestone, I'm gathering wood because coal is not a resource I have. I also found a little bit of gold, which wouldn't come into play until like day 35. Yeah, I'll just let you guys watch this for a second. Oh yeah, I planted a garden too, apparently. And boom, just like that, I finished another one. It's just like the first one, but made out of stone bricks. And it was looking pretty good so far. I then decided to cover up the lava pit. I just didn't want to accidentally fall into it, because I've never done a hardcore world before. This is the first one I've ever done. And it seems like most worlds I die in, it's from lava. And so I was not taking the chance of accidentally falling in there. I also continued to terraform a little more, but one zombie came and started attacking me, which wouldn't have been a problem, but then it turned into more than one zombie, and I decided, no armor, pickaxe, I think I'm just gonna go back to bed. And thus concluded day 10. Filled in some more dirt. That's a carrot plant down there. I failed to mention this earlier because while rewatching this recording, I don't remember where I got the carrot, but I killed a zombie at one point and he dropped a carrot, which would be good because I would need pigs soon. And then as you can clearly see, I also killed an enderman. If I was like good at video editing, I would speed this up super quickly right here, but I don't know how to do that, so we're just gonna watch me kill this enderman for a second, and then we'll get on to more exciting stuff that happened on day 11. Wow, that took actually way longer than I was expecting. Okay, and by more exciting stuff, I guess I just meant digging a pit. So yeah, we'll skip to the point where I fall asleep. That's the end of day 11. Get ready for all sorts of stuff in days 12 through 20. Now, when I was recording, I don't know what happened, but the recordings for days 12 through 20 didn't work. And so this is the night of day 20, and I'll just show you everything I got done. So this is where we started. The garden got bigger. The carrots ended up growing. I built one more base. We're building 4 of these in total, so I built the pink one on this side. This is right over the water. Originally I was gonna like add dirt under this. I think I'm actually just gonna build a bridge over to there, like across the river. I think that'll look good, but I'm not exactly sure if I'm gonna go with that yet. So yeah, we got the pink fort, we got the birch fort, and then we've got the stone brick fort over here. Most of days 12 through 20 were spent either mining for those pink rocks, I don't even remember what they're called, or building this nether portal. I used buckets of lava and water to build the frame, which took so long, but it looks really cool. And then yeah, I started building spiral staircases down into our pit. So you can kind of see it's coming together. It's gonna look good in the end. I also got cows in there. That actually happened really fast. I haven't built them a pen yet, obviously. And then I actually finished the pig's pen. Even the grass is starting to grow, so that's looking really good. Only have 4 at the moment, but they'll multiply pretty quickly. The last day this was recorded after that other part, so this is a completely another recording. I came down here to get more chickens, and then like 7 zombies came into my house. And so I just spent a few minutes killing them, which is all fun and games, until right there, I thought I almost died. I don't know why the zombie did so much damage. I wasn't expecting that, but I literally almost died. I thought that was game over for a second. Luckily, I was still alive. When I went back up later, I saw that one of them had an iron shovel, so I'm guessing that one was the one that hit me, and so I took more damage. Or maybe I just wasn't aware. Well, I thought I was safe down here and that no zombies could slip through, and then of course, not only did one zombie slip through, but it was the one with the iron shovel. So I took like 10 years to kill him, just like that Enderman. See, I skipped that time so you guys didn't have to watch it. And then I blocked it off. I decided I was done playing. I was going on a trip the next day, so I just sat here. I decided when I came back to the game, I would just like burrow out one of the walls. But that was the end of day 20. We'll see what happens when I come back. I guess here I am on day 21, digging out of the from underneath. I waited until it said it was day 21 so that I knew that the zombies would be burning up when I came outside. I guess I came up a little early because I did. But soon enough they started burning up. I almost died because the baby zombie was chasing me, so I just ran over to the water right there. And then the rest of day 21 was just spent expanding the pit to make it bigger. Yeah, lots of dirt, super exciting stuff. And that's actually how a lot of this is going to be. I started digging down, making a staircase, hoping to get deeper in where I would be more likely to find iron, but I don't think I would ever find iron down here ever again. At least not for the rest of this video. I did make sure to stop by my chicken coop, just kind of towards the end of day 21. I threw a bunch more eggs, and this is probably the least lucky I've ever been with eggs, like ever. But I guess it makes up for it, because earlier in the video I threw, I think 4 eggs and got 3 chickens, which is like insanely lucky. So it just makes up for it. It all works out in the end, I guess. And then of course, now that I had so many chickens, I had to well, kill a few, which was a lot harder than I thought it would be, seeing as I was using a shovel. I was really stupid at the start of day 22. The creeper wasn't the stupid part. The stupid part was a skeleton started shooting me, and I could have just ignored him, gone back to work, but I decided I wanted to make him burn up, you know, try to kill him. And so I started doing that. I'll just let you watch this for a second. I lost track of where he was. He snuck up behind me, started shooting me, and I almost died. I started running away while he was shooting at me. I'll give you guys some instant replay on that arrow shot right there. Boom! His arrow barely missed me. I don't know. This was the closest I had been to death. I was just freaking out so much. I was feeling a little happy though, because I knew I would get some bones from him, which I knew I needed, because the glowberries from the cave weren't growing, and the only way I was going to get them to grow was using bones. Unfortunately, the skeleton didn't drop a bone for me, so that was kind of annoying, but eventually I decided whatever and just got back to other things. Started out just harvesting some crops. I would need these so that I could feed my cows. Cows were going to be the main way I feed myself in this server. At least that was my plan. And so the more that I could get of these guys, the better it would be for me in the end. And then I also had to block them in there because I hadn't made them an actual home yet. I got back to mining, nothing super exciting other than I found coal right here. Coal would not be a very plentiful resource that I have for the rest of the video either. And so every single time I found coal, I was just so excited. I had a lot of chickens once again. Had to feed them. I honestly didn't even need to feed them. I probably could have kept up on the chickens just by throwing their eggs. But it's kind of fun to feed them. In case you're wondering why there aren't hearts above their heads when I feed them, I have particles turned down, and so that's why you never see it. It makes the game less laggy. Let's see, I think this was day 23. I went on this super long excursion, I guess you could say. I had nothing to show for it though, except for sugarcane when I came back, which was pretty lame overall. Yeah. This would be helpful, maybe in like a part 2, but I don't think I ever came back to the sugarcane for the rest of the video. I started day 24 by taking all of the dirt from this chest and putting it into this chest, which was a lot of dirt, at least to me. It seemed like a lot of dirt. And then it was just right back to getting these staircases down. I figured that from now on I would be putting the staircases in as I went down so that I didn't have to do this awkward maneuvering around them where I don't have anything to place them. So yeah, if I just placed them when there was already a block under them, it would make it much easier so I didn't have to come back and do this in the future. This was a really bad part of day 24. I thought I could kill this skeleton, and spoiler alert, I could kill him, but he almost killed me. This had to have been at least the second, if not the third time that I got one shot away from death. And so I figured I should probably start working on getting armor. Of course, I didn't get right to that because I'm stupid and just chose not to. But soon enough, trust me, we will get armor. Everything will work out in this video. I don't die. Otherwise, I mean, this is going to be like a 51-minute video, so we're only at like 25 minutes in. I guess it's pretty obvious that I'm not going to die. But in case you thought I was going to die for whatever reason, just rest assured I don't die. I also kept up on planting berries, and yeah, a lot of this, I don't even know how I'm supposed to commentate this. It's just a lot of grinding stuff. I cut down a lot of trees right here so that I could start building the 4th base, which would be made out of netherrack bricks. But I wasn't even close to getting that ready, or being ready to make that, so I don't know why I was clearing a path for it. And then yeah, it was back to just the big pit, which I would be working up until like day 48 on digging. Oh, I was wrong earlier. I guess I found a few pieces of iron right here. It's only like 2 pieces of iron though, so I'm not really sure if you'd call that worth mentioning. The birch stairs was the deepest I ever went. I think that's the deepest we ever went in this whole video. It was like Y level 21, so getting super close to the prime Y level 16 that we can find iron in. I'm sure we'll find more iron in the future, but just not currently. And then every time I found glowberries, I would plant some more because I planned on having these underneath every piece of obsidian, which would surround the entire place. So yeah, pretty exciting. I had to run down there and place a torch because monsters kept spawning down there, and then they'd come up, and if a skeleton ever shot me off of here, it did so much damage because I'd take the initial arrow damage and then fall. Right here, I heard some noises, and once again, just like on day 1 or 2, I found a cave. I didn't have any armor, well, nothing more than the golden boots I was wearing, and so I didn't really feel safe going in there, and so I patched it up. And spoiler alert, we never come back to that cave. If you want me to go in that cave, be sure to comment so that I will do that in part 2. I should stop commentating, acting like I know what's going to happen, because apparently I found even more iron right here, and I think it was a lot, now that I'm thinking about it. What, like 6 pieces? So that's another 8 pieces of iron. This guy was kind of annoying. He just got in my way. I tried to push him into the nether. It didn't work. But right after building a iron chest plate, which was actually a really big advancement in getting me well suited up, whatever you want to call that, I went out my front door and I found that annoying dude's llamas. which was amazing because they gave me 2 leads, which I thought would come in handy. They also didn't come in handy, but I'm sure that someday those leads will be very useful. I spent day 26 also prepping a pen for the cows. I couldn't completely put them down here yet because I needed the grass to grow, and so I had to leave this other side. You'll see in just a minute after I place the torches. See down there, I had to let the grass grow down here before I could move the cows down here, because I want my cows to have grass and not just a dirt floor. So for now, we're just going to leave it like that. I'll fix these 2 blocks really quick, I guess. And then hopefully I go exploring. Yep, this is the first time that I explore further than like 100 blocks away from spawn. And it was pretty cool. I killed a few animals along my way. The game was a little glitchy. I'm sorry if my computer lags throughout this video. I'm on like a 70-year-old laptop and it's not ideal. But anyways, exploring was pretty cool. Pretty quickly into exploring, I came across a lava pit, which I thought might be good until I realized that the forest was actually on fire because of this lava pit. I started to put out the fire. It just wasn't going very well, as you can see though. Every time I smacked out a fire, 2 more started. I continued to smack it out a little bit, and then I realized that, wait a minute, I don't even really like this type of wood, and so I don't really care if it burns down, so I just left. And then that night, which I guess this is actually day 25 still, so the night of day 25 I spent in a 5-star hotel, as you guys can see. Day 26 I found some pillagers. I was really scared because I haven't played Minecraft since the release of Pillagers, at least not like a survival world. I've played Bed Wars and stuff like that, but in my mind these guys were going to kill me, and so I was like super cautious. Turns out they're actually not that scary. The only bad thing that happened was it gave me the bad omen, which all I knew was that that had to do something with a pillage on a village, but I wasn't in a village, and so I wasn't that scared. This was the best thing that ever happened to me. This was day 27 at this point, I think. I came across this mine, and I saw like the wood down there, and I got super excited until I saw that it was on fire, and I was kind of scared that the entire mine was going to be burning down. As you can see, that clearly wasn't the case, and it was really good. Let's see, I don't even know what... I'm just gonna watch this for a second with you guys because I honestly have no idea what was happening at this point in my game. Oh wait, yes, I do remember. So I came across a cave spider spawner, which I was super scared of because the last time I played a survival world, I had full iron armor, and it was a cave spider that ended up killing me. That's not completely true. A cave spider killed me all the way down to 1 heart, and then a creeper exploded behind me. But I blame the cave spider. And so I was super cautious going into this cave spider fight. I tried to cover it up right here, but it didn't work at all. Well, it did work, but not how I'd hoped, because I guess he found another way out. And rather than fight him, which I could have very easily did, I ran all the way back to this corner because, you know, this is a hardcore world, and I'm only on like day 27. I'm not risking losing this world on day 27 because that would make for a pretty lame video. I went back to the spider and killed him pretty easily. I still was backing up, which I guess you could call wimpy or lame or what I don't know what you want to call it. I just call it playing it safe because that's what you gotta do if you want to survive in your hardcore world. I figured that I could mine underneath. I don't really know how to explain this. I could go down though and then break the spider spawner from underneath. And so I thought I was being really big brain by doing this because, you know, I'd be kept safe from running into any spiders. I break the spawner, I might have to kill a few more spiders, but overall, like, this is the safest way to go about it. And so that was my plan. I came back here, started digging. Before I could even get there though, I found some iron, and this would be the most iron I found in the entire server. I found more iron between days 27 and 29 than I did the rest of the time. So I started melting that down immediately. I made a shield and every other piece of armor except for boots because I didn't want to waste my golden boots. It only would add a tiny bit of armor. So I went back to destroy the spider spawner. I mined on the wrong block though, so I tried the other one, and then I realized I had no idea where this spider spawner was. So I decided to just go in there, and I figured it was either to the left or the right, because, you know, it can't be anywhere else unless it doesn't exist. And so I just covered up the left side so that if it was on the left, no spiders would be able to get in here. Unfortunately, or maybe fortunately, it was on the right, and I was able to break it pretty quickly, so that was really good. I wouldn't have to worry about fighting many more spiders. Yeah, I was just feeling a lot more safe, until I got to the point where I found another spider spawner. I don't know if I included that in the video or not. I spent a super long time in these mines, and I got super lost. As you can see, I was placing blocks to try to block places off that I had been, but it just wasn't working out. And the scariest thing about this was I was starting to run super low on food. I had 4 pieces of bread, and then I think I found a chest up here somewhat soon, and in the chest there's like 6 glowberries. But other than 4 pieces of bread and 6 pieces of glowberries, I just had no food, and I knew that there were still a lot of monsters down here, and I did not want to end up getting hurt by the monsters and then not having a way to heal myself. And so after running around like a madman for way too long, I decided, oh yep, here's the chest actually. So yeah, I got 6 glowberries from there, but it just wouldn't be enough. I guess you could technically also count the golden apple as food, but you don't want to eat a golden apple as food. You want to save that for day 33 when you almost die, or whenever it was. You'll see, we're coming up on that. Anyways, I ran around like a madman for way too long before I decided, let's just burrow straight up out of here. And so I did that, and that was probably the smartest thing I did. It was now day 29. I was finally feeling okay. I even found a bone right here. I also found a baby zombie, so I ran away quickly. Day 29, I was planning on just running back home until I saw this village, and of course villages have good loot, and so I was like, okay, why would I not loot this village? Completely not thinking about the fact that I had the bad omen effect. And so of course the raid started, and it scared me super bad, and so I started running away immediately because I had no idea how raids even worked. And so I was like, okay, all I know is that some pillagers are gonna come and I gotta be prepared to fight them. And so I got straight to work getting all of my armor upgraded the best it could be, which was just a new sword and a new shield, nothing much else. But nothing really ended up happening. I had no idea why. I searched all over the village looking for people to start attacking us, and no one was coming. I just couldn't figure it out. And so after running around for a while, not understanding why the village wasn't under attack, I decided to visit one of my random neighbors and steal their bed and just go sleep for the night, because I did not want to be facing both pillagers and monsters at the same time if they showed up. On the morning of day 30, I decided to wander around the village a little bit more, but I just couldn't see any pillagers. I was seriously so confused. And so I looked it up, and it turns out that the pillagers actually have to wander from their nearest pillager outpost to get here. And so I decided to just take everything valuable from this village and leave. Which of course included a villager or two, because, you know, you need people to work for you. I didn't want to be planting my own plants, and mostly I just wanted to have a way to trade with the villagers. That was the biggest reason I took this guy. And yeah, I also knew that I would need another guy though, and so I left this guy down here, and I went and found another guy so that they could repopulate. I don't know why I'm explaining this. I feel like this is pretty obvious, but I don't know, maybe you're watching my video and you've never played Minecraft before, and so the commentary is good. The next few days would just be spent getting this villager home. This took so long because apparently you can't row up water. I thought you used to be able to, but I guess you can't in this update. Maybe you never could. So I had to transport this guy by land for a lot of this. It took a really long time. There was actually a waterway almost straight to my house. I had to go across a little land, but had I known the way, I would have been able to get this guy home super fast. Eventually I got him home. This was 2.5 days later. It took so long to get this guy home. It was just because I had to wander all over in the wilderness. And it wasn't just wandering because I was in a boat, and so it took so long. It was so annoying. But eventually we got him home, and it looked like he wasn't really going anywhere. So there's one down. Now all we had to do was find his friend. Finding the village again was pretty easy because I had the coordinates saved. And so I got back there in the matter of like 3 minutes. It was actually pretty close. When I got back, I found out we were now under attack though. And I wasn't sure how much damage that big ugly cow looking thing did. And so I decided to just run away because we gotta play it safe. Also, I'm sorry about all the stats around the board or around the screen. I just wasn't thinking. My idea here was to run back to the boat and take the villager back with me. But there was a stupid turtle waiting in my boat, and so I couldn't just jump in the boat with him. And so I didn't. Anyways, I chased this guy around a little bit. I wanted to know how much damage he did, but I also wanted to kill him. Turns out he does not one-shot kill you, but if he hit me twice, I would definitely die. And so after getting hit once, I was out of there. I was once again freaking out. I did not want to die. I tried shooting him, but I was out of arrows. It just wasn't working out. So after dragging them away, I just returned to kill the turtle in the boat and grab the villager. I didn't realize, however, I had brought the pillager right to my villager. And so while I was down here, he killed my villager, and I was, oh my goodness, I was livid. I was so mad. I was like screaming at my computer screen at this point. Not actually, but I wanted to, because I was just so upset. I went to so much effort to get that stupid villager, and then he just died. I got into another fight with this guy, and yep, it looks like I was right from earlier. Day 33, I had to eat my golden apple. I'm not sure if I actually needed to eat it there, but I figured better safe than sorry. Especially when it's a hardcore world. You know, you only got one chance, so you really gotta play it safe. In no time at all, though, I had killed this guy, and at least for the time being, the village felt peaceful again. That night, I dragged this ugly monkey down here. I don't think he's actually a monkey, but I have no idea what that thing's called. I think I'll just call it a villager cow for now, because it looks like a cow with a villager face. That night, I stole another bed from the villagers, and then I proceeded to steal a villager the next morning. From the time of leaving the village to the time of getting back to my house didn't take anywhere near as long the first time. I think it was less than 8 minutes from the time I left that village to getting back here. I did it in less than 1 Minecraft day, so that was super awesome. I finished out that day by collecting some plants, just a lot of housekeeping stuff. I had been gone from my house for a pretty long time, relatively speaking. I put the cows into their new home. This one was having problems for some reason. I destroyed this ugly bridge that I no longer wanted. And I grew a few more glowberries, proceeded to pick them, plant them, destroyed that random block, fed my pigs. Like I said, just a bunch of housekeeping stuff. I picked that glowberry, which was the lowest I had yet. That was the longest chain of glowberries I had, so that was pretty exciting. I guess I lied to all of you about never returning to the sugarcane later. Beginning of day 35 started out with me returning to the sugarcane. I lined this entire sandy shoreline with it, just in case I ever left on my boat again. It would make finding this place really easy. I don't know why I did this though, because I had the coordinates of my house. It's not like I would ever get lost again. But overall, this was good. I wouldn't return to it. The next few days were just spent building portals by getting buckets of lava and then placing them next to things of water. And yeah, pretty satisfying. We now had 2 portals, only had 2 more to go. So it was looking pretty good overall. I don't know what's going on. Oh yeah, right here, that was the last bucket of lava from the cave. It felt kind of weird to have this place completely dark because it had been lit up for so long. That's where I got majority of my lava. It wasn't a majority by a lot, but over half of the lava that was used to create these portals came from inside there. I then went to the nether, and I thought I died when I first entered this place because I was immediately falling. Upon entering, I looked to my right and I saw a bastion or whatever it's called. I don't know. I've never been in one. And because I had never been on one, I decided to just leave. I also don't know what that was that just fell out of the sky, but I think something fell out of the sky and died. This was, once again, I came very close to dying, except this time I had armor, so I had no excuse for almost dying. I shouldn't have punched this Enderman, but it turned out pretty okay because he gave me a grass block, which weren't easy to come by seeing as I didn't have a Silk Touch shovel at the time. I don't think I would ever use this grass block in this video, but I guess it was useful. At least I could have used it had I wanted to, I just chose not to. I picked some more carrots because I would need to feed some more pigs. I didn't really care to get a ton of pigs because I was planning, I think I already said this, I was planning on using cows as my main food source, but I guess more pigs is kind of fun. I was very quick to feed the cows though because I need those, and then I also displayed those trophies right there. I don't know if you'd call those trophies, but it's the closest thing I've got right now. Make the cow's pen bigger, which is really boring gameplay. So here it is when it's done. Yep, I made a bigger cow pen and then I fed some cows. Day 37 started out with me digging the pit in the middle a little bit further down and then returning to the nether to get some buckets of lava so that I could make the third portal. I just wanted to finish these because I knew as soon as I got these done it would look really good. I also planted some more glowberries. I killed a few skeletons. I actually killed a lot of skeletons because I knew that skeletons would be my best way of getting bone meal so that I could... Actually, now that I'm thinking about it, it's almost the only way to get bone meal and make those glowberries. I also found that sheep who wouldn't play a big role in this game, but I'm sure he will in the next episode, so remember that sheep when we come back for a part 2. I also started melting netherrack, I think that's what it's called, so that I could get bricks, because our fourth building would be made out of nether bricks. And as I said earlier, coal was not a resource that I had very much of, and so I used I used birch planks to fuel most of my furnaces. I wasn't positive that planks burned more than just or I meant slabs. I used slabs instead of planks because I was pretty sure that slabs gave you more for how much it cost. I wasn't even sure if that was true, but I was acting like it was true, so if that's not true and this drives you crazy watching, I'm sorry. I should have like fact checked this before I went ahead and did it for the entire video, but I was too lazy to do that and just that's the way I did it. Anyways, this project will be going until the end of the video because it takes forever to get enough to make an entire building like this made out of bricks, but in the end it would look really good. I made the sheep a little bit bigger of a pen. I just kind of did this as I made the brick building because I didn't want to come down here later when it wasn't lit up and have to fight monsters. So yep, there's me building the bricks. Like I said, this would take a really long time, but it was good. I thought that baby zombie was gonna kill me, and so I tried just putting him in the nether. But upon returning, I noticed he was stuck down there with the sheep, and within just a moment he burnt to a crisp, so I didn't really have to worry about him anymore. Day 40 started out with me feeding my cows. Unfortunately, I fed a few too many of them, and so I had to call in population control. They got taken care of pretty quickly, and we were back to being okay. I then planted a few more berries. I would need these wrapped around the entire base of the obsidian portals. Chopped down a few more trees for fuel before returning to the nether to mine out more netherrack. And this would be what I did for the next 9 days. Not just netherrack, but mining. I did get a few blocks of gold from the nether because you get a lot of gold from the nether. And so I decided I'd end up putting all of those in the middle. But I finished day 40 building this, and it was coming together pretty good. It was actually starting to look kind of like the rest of them. And then day 41 started. The next like minute and a half of me commentating is an 8-day span of just me grinding for a lot of it. I was mining this pit deeper and deeper. I never really found anything that exciting down here, maybe some coal, but I never found any more iron. Copper isn't that exciting. So yeah, just digging the pit deeper, chopping down trees so that I could fuel my furnaces, ovens, whatever you call them, so that I could get more bricks. And then the main reason, oh, actually this was huge. I did find some coal, which meant that was like 10 less trees I had to chop down. So this actually made me super excited. So yeah, you know you're in a low place when coal is making you excited. Like, that's literally what you get for Christmas when you're bad, and I was excited to be getting it. Anyways, as you can see, lots of cobblestone was dug, mined, however you say it. Lots of building happened. It was a grinding time. I chopped down so many trees, as you can see here. I started to get scared that the Lorax was gonna like come and haunt me or something. So I went ahead and I planted 101 trees to make up for it. Yeah, it looks pretty good, I guess. And here's what we got. It looks like it is currently day 48, I think. Yeah, day 48. This is how far I've come on the pit. It's looking pretty cool so far. I think in the end this is going to look super sick. So I'm pretty excited with how this has turned out. I took about 2 minutes to explain the last 9 days. It would only make sense that I take 5 minutes to explain the next 3. That tunnel that I just walked through, that was completely non-existent. That was all of my mining that I was doing to get all of the bricks. And it turned out to be super helpful because it led me straight to this lava pond, which would help me finish my portal super quickly. I eventually actually used up all of the lava from that so-called helpful lava pond that I just was at. But I came up over here and I found a bunch of pockets of lava, which would end up being enough for me to finish my portals. So it all worked out pretty well. And just like that, I had all of my portal frames finished. You see a bunch of water running down right here because I guess there was an update with the water mechanics, which makes it really funky. I mean, there's water just everywhere, which actually would look kind of cool. Now that I'm thinking about it, I might put water instead of glow vines. I also had a little bit of extra lava, so I made a hot tub right there. It just felt right. There's one. Here's the other portal. Just like that, we finished all of the portals. All we need now is to replace that piece of dirt with a golden block. These last 3 days were just super speedy. Originally, I was going to do a 50-day in hardcore Minecraft challenge. And then I was like, okay, actually, here's a new idea. What if I did a 51-day challenge? Because 51 is one of my favorite numbers. You know, it's Doc Hudson's number in Cars. That's pretty much the only reason. And so I was like, maybe I'll do a 51-day challenge. And then I was like, no, I'll just keep it simple, do 50 days, that makes sense. But as I got closer to day 50, I knew I wasn't going to be able to finish everything I want to, and so I extended it by just a little bit so that I could finish everything. Here I am in the nether, trying to find enough gold so that I can make one more gold block. And just like that, we have this outside area finished. It's looking pretty good. I would have stayed there and looked at it a little longer, but I was just in such a rush to get everything done as quickly as I can. And so I was right back to getting the bricks from the ovens, mining more netherrack. This area would turn out being so big, like such a big open area that used to be completely filled in. This zombie pigman was being so annoying. He was in my way for so much of my mining. For all I know, this could have been a 50-day challenge had he not got in my way so many times. I also went outside and chopped down a ton more trees because, do I even need to explain it at this point? I needed fuel for the furnaces, and this was the quickest way I knew of at the moment. I fed all of my animals just because I felt like I needed to. Just had to make as many as I could. I fed a ton more cows. This place was getting so crowded, like so crowded. but I took care of that problem pretty quickly, and soon enough we had this place down to just a few cows, and by a few cows I think there were still like 15 down there, but I had enough meat to last me the rest of the challenge. I of course didn't feed my sheep, but I did make him a little bit of a bigger area so that I'd be happier. I also fed my chickens, but I don't think I included that. There's the footage of me completing the inside of this building. As you can see, I'm just running straight to the furnaces to get more bricks though, because I still have to do the patio, and I've got about 10 minutes of real time left to finish this before I have to make this surviving 52 days of Minecraft, and that's just stupid. Nobody wants a 52-day challenge. Like 51, that makes sense. I feel like you can argue that a 51-day challenge makes sense, but 52, that's just an awkward number. And so I was just constantly rushing, just trying to get this done as fast as I could. I had to go back to the nether another time because I just didn't have enough bricks. I was seriously getting so scared. Almost as scared as I was right there when I almost killed myself in that lava. That was probably like the third closest we've been to dying. I mean, had I stayed in that lava for another 1 or 2 seconds, that probably would have been the end of the world, which would have been really, really, really sad. But luckily, I made it. I made sure to keep my distance while mining these next few blocks, just in case I came across lava again. I really didn't want to end up dying when I was so close to finishing at least this portion of the project. And just like that, on the 51st night, I finished the building. I'd love to give you guys a good look, but this is about all you'll get of it because there are a ton of monsters outside, and I was very low on hearts, so I had to run back inside and just call it a night. So I ran back to where it all began. Of course, my bed was still down here like it has been since like day 3. And just like that, we ended the 51 days. To celebrate, I woke up and I took a dip in the hot tub. So yeah, exciting stuff. But don't worry, this is just a copy of this world. Of course, I backed this up so that I can come back and do an episode 2. I just had to kill myself right there so that I could spectate the world and show you guys everything we've done so far. So we spawned over here near where we planted all this sugarcane. We didn't do much with the sugarcane this video, but I'm sure we'll do some more with it in episode 2. If you guys want episode 2, be sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel so that I can have more motivation. Otherwise, it might be a long time before I get to an episode 2. This is where our lava pit used to be. Day 1, or the first night, we went down here. Oh yeah, that's our bed. I don't know why I record all this. This is pretty boring stuff. Nobody wants to see my mines. I also realized that if I was down here, I might be able to see stuff that I couldn't see before. And you could maybe count that as cheating. So there's where we got my axolotl. And then I'll just go to the more exciting stuff rather than the mining, which no one actually cares about. Here's our first building that we made. Our birch curio shop, modeled after the curio shop from Cars. And I really like how this turned out. Overall, I think this looks really good. Even if it doesn't look super accurate to the one in the movie, it looks close enough and it looks good for the base I've made. Then we made a stone brick one. Pretty good stuff. Here's this inside area. Got all of our spiral staircases going down. They just look so good. This is going to look so cool when it's all done. I'm super excited. The third building we made was our pink building, which we're going to have to build a bridge or something. But for now, it's looking pretty good. Underneath here, we got our pigs. Birch building, we've got our chickens. In the stone brick building, we've got our cows. And in our nether brick building, we've got one sheep who will be in our next episode. We've got all of our glowberry vines growing down underneath the portals. It'll probably take a while before they're all glowing with berries. But overall, I think it looks pretty good. I might not keep it like this, but I really want to include them if I can because I think it looks good. The only problem is they only grow 26 blocks down, and so they can't reach all the way down. If we take a look at this place from above, it looks pretty cool. Ignoring the fact that it kind of looks like a swastika, I think it's a pretty sick base. I was actually considering making like a circle around it, so now that I'm looking at it, I'm definitely probably not adding the circle because then it'll really look like the Nazi flag. There you go. Hope you guys enjoyed this. This has been 51 Days in Survival Hardcore Minecraft. Be sure to like and subscribe for part 2.